Today on Nightwing, he's going to team up with the Flash and pay tribute to one of the greatest heroes in the DC universe. This is the Comicstorian channel. I take some of your favorite comic books, I take out all of the text, I alter the panels, and we show you very little of the actual comic. Then I read it back to you as an audio drama. This allows you to keep up with your favorite storylines while not giving it all away, which allows you to put it into your collection if you want to. Today we're going to be covering Nightwing issues 90, 91, 92. There has been an ongoing plot that has been happening for like 10 issues now, in which in Alfred's passing he left a lot of money to Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson chose to donate most of this and start foundations within Bloodhaven, which is causing a lot of problems for the mafias and the gangs here, one in particular being Blockbuster. He's tried multiple times to send people after Dick Grayson, but today we're going to finally see how this resolves, because eventually he's going to run out of assassins, isn't he? Let's get into Nightwing now. As some of Bloodhaven's elite sit in Blockbuster's building, Blockbuster tells everyone that in exactly 5 minutes, Dick Grayson will die. Maroni says that there's a lot of proficient killers that have failed before. What makes this time different? Blockbuster says because this time, he has gone directly to La Agent Fumbre. McLean asks what is that? And Nightwing's half-sister Melina says that she is just a myth, but Blockbuster tells them that she is not a myth, just very expensive. But he is frustrated and has decided to pay a premium for their certainty. And La Agent Fumbre's agent doesn't care about collateral damage. Dick Grayson's entire apartment building is about to be taken out. Meanwhile, over at Nightwing's apartment, he's laying in bed with Haley when he suddenly gets a ping on his phone. Normally, he would keep more things silent because just the bat chat alone doesn't end. But for him to actually hear a notification, that message must be important. He looks at it, and it's from Melina, which says that the building is about to be hit. Get out. He quickly leaps out of bed and begins to run, but remembers that his apartment building isn't just him anymore. There are tenants who live here. As Nightwing smashes the fire alarm, shouting that there's a fire, one tenant comes out telling him that Mr. Maurice is on floor 3. He doesn't sleep with his hearing aid in. He hands Haley his dog to the lady, telling her to go ahead and get the kids out of here. He'll get Maurice. He runs back into his room, changing into his costume, kicking in Maurice's door, grabbing the hearing aid, but Maurice sits up shouting, "Who are you and why are you here stealing my hearing aid?" Nightwing stops, stares for a moment, and says, "No?" But Oracle radios in, stating that she just picked up a warning that something is entering the Bloodhaven airspace and it's moving fast. It looks like a military drone heading straight for the building. Nightwing grabs Maurice, smashing out the window, getting ready to jump out, but as he does, he sees a missile shooting right towards him. As the missile zips right over, he leaps out, grappling onto the building, but some of the debris then flies back, hitting him in the head. And a few moments later, over in Keystone City in the West Home, Linda wakes up when she hears a notification on her phone going off. She looks at it, stating that it looks like there's an explosion in Bloodhaven, and as she looks closer, she realizes that this is Dick Grayson's home. Before she can even finish questioning where this is at, Wally West is already out the door and running to Bloodhaven, asking the residents if everyone made it out. The woman from before says Dick Grayson went back in for Mr. Maurice on the 3rd floor, but Wally didn't need to hear any more. He started getting to work pulling away the rubble, trying to find signs of his buddy Nightwing. He'll do whatever it takes to get to him. So much so that with his fast healing, he actually breaks his fingers several times over getting the rubble out. But as Nightwing lands with Mr. Maurice, he looks over. "Flash?" And Wally runs over hugging him. Sirens can be heard in the distance, and as they get closer, Wally tells him, "Good, the police are on their way." But Nightwing tells him, "Yeah, but this is Bloodhaven. They're actually probably looking to finish the job." Wally asks him what does he mean, and Nightwing motions towards the destroyed building. "This entire attack was about me, Wally. I'd better get changed and show face before people start worrying." But Wally brings up a rather good point. You see, no one knows where Dick Grayson is in this fire. Maybe he should stay low for a moment while they figure out who is trying to actually kill him. Before Nightwing can even object, Wally picks him up and runs him back to his house so that Nightwing can stay with him, Linda, and the kids. Linda comes out telling him, "Hey, is everything okay?" And Nightwing tells her that he's just a little disoriented. And Linda jokes, "Did Wally bring you here without warning first?" He does that. It's terrible. So the next morning, at the commissioner's office, McLean begins his investigation on the apartment building, interviewing the woman from before, asking if there's anything that she can tell him about the explosion. She says that there was a fire alarm, and Dick Grayson said that there was a fire, but she didn't see any smoke. McLean says that he appreciates her time. Mr. Desmond has generously offered to pay for a hotel room for any of the displaced residents. As she leaves, McLean grabs his phone, calling Blockbuster, stating that either La Agent Fubre isn't as effective as he says, or someone in their meeting tipped off Grayson. Back at the West household, Nightwing wakes up from a night of much-needed rest, and Wally says that he started making a board of all the people who wanted to see Dick dead. Nightwing says that that's the thing. There's been a lot of hired guns, but they were only ever shooting him. A strike on the apartment was more of an unrestrained thing. You should probably talk to his sister. This, of course, surprises Wally, as it probably did most of our viewers. What? Your sister? And Nightwing explains it. Yeah, she's on the inside. She's the mayor of Bloodhaven. Wally feels like he's missed out on a few key important details. So, Dick begins to explain who Melina is and how she's related to him. But back over in Gotham, Barbara Gordon walks home when she's approached by a group of men. One of them flashes a gun, telling her that she'll survive this if she cooperates. They just want information on her boyfriend. Detectives have interviewed her twice about Dick Grayson's apartment, but Barbara yells that that doesn't make him her boyfriend. Honestly, we really haven't put a label on a relationship yet, so after a few moments, she radios over stating, "Hey, I just got kidnapped at gunpoint and thrown in the back of a refrigerated van. Are you busy at the moment?" Nightwing asks where is she, and she tells him that she's pretty sure she's headed west on Timms and 6th, white van, license plate 2GA-T213. So it doesn't take very long before the van pulls up to a warehouse, and the driver gets out looking at KG Beast, the man that shot Nightwing in the head many months ago, causing his amnesia. They explain that they have the package, so KG Beast gets ready to question her. But as they open up the door, it's Nightwing and Wally West that jump out, but Wally stops asking, "Wait, isn't that the guy that shot you in the head?" Nightwing tells him, yeah, it is, and Wally goes on, "We have a long list of friends who want to get their hands on this guy. I'm glad I'm first." KG Beast and the gunman open fire, and Wally rushes out, cracking KG Beast in the head, telling him that he knows that this can't be heard because he's moving too fast, but he wants to say it anyway. This will be the last time that he ever points a gun at Nightwing. You tried to murder my best friend. You almost succeeded. So I'm gonna make sure to stop you each and every single time. I have all the time in the world. And once he disarms KG Beast, he moves over to the rest, tying them all up. But he missed one thing. KG Beast was holding onto a remote, and he presses the button, stating that he thought that this might happen. So there's a contingency plan in place. The remote is to a bomb somewhere in the city. You have 1 hour until it blows. You don't have time to deal with me and the... And Nightwing simply interrupts him. It's over in the Gotham Library. How the hell did you know that? The van is full of bomb-making equipment, and the last place the van's GPS searched for was the library. Plus, you just admitted it. Flash, can you? Wally runs off, and Nightwing turns back to KG Beast. Now, who are you working for? KG Beast says that they both know that he won't talk, so Nightwing pulls off KG Beast's mask. Yeah, we'll see. What? You wanted to see my face when you get to the torture part of this? Nightwing smiles. No, I just needed your face to unlock your phone. Later back at Wally's house, Barbara gets to work sifting through KG Beast's phone, with Nightwing asking how's it going. Barbara tells him that she found whoever he was working for is working very hard to hide, and doing as good as a job as she has ever seen. This person has no number, no service, no name. It's like whoever KG Beast was calling doesn't exist. But at that moment, Nightwing gets another message from his sister. All it says was La Agent Fubre. Barbara says that those people are a myth, and Nightwing tells her that he thought so as well, and that's also what Batman thinks. But Damian once swore to him that this person was real. Barbara looks back at her computer, realizing that she can't get the exact location of the number, but she did narrow it down to a cell tower. Everyone looks at the screen, and they realize that the cell tower is in the middle of the Central American jungle. And Wally tells them all that it looks like they're on their way to Costa Rica. As they step outside, Wally turns to Nightwing. All right, how do you want to do this? Piggyback or cradle? You have traveled to the future. You have met 100 Flashes. Did none of them come up with a better way to carry someone? Seconds later in Costa Rica, Wally stops in front of the mystery cell tower. Nightwing asks, how do they want to do this? And Wally rushes ahead, telling him that he'll scout the place out. Suddenly, several explosions go off, and Nightwing calls out to his friend. But Wally comes back. Yeah, I'm okay. I found a classic villain lair, and guess what else I found? Nightwing asks him, you found landmines, didn't you? Yeah, I found landmines! Nightwing then grabs his batons, telling him, well, whoever's out there, they know we're coming, so there's no point in hiding. The two approach the lone building as several assassins step out, and Nightwing notices something about them. They weren't expecting them. It's clear that they're used to fighting as individuals, whereas him and Wally have been working as a team since they were kids. So as the last of these killers are taken down, a helicopter begins to take off and Wally makes a dash for it, bouncing off of an invisible wall. As the helicopter lands, a woman wearing a skull mask steps out. That force field was designed to stop anything moving quickly, mostly bullets and projectiles. But I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought of super speeding heroes when it was installed. As she pulls out 2 blades, she readies herself in her stance, and Nightwing looks her up and down. "You are La Agent Fuembre." Without another word, she begins to attack, and Nightwing has to make an effort to dodge each strike. She isn't just fast, she's good. She's a master, and she doesn't do anything flashy. No lunge is for appearance or flair. Every hit is designed to hurt, to incapacitate, or to kill. She isn't afraid of fighting dirty. She doesn't want a fair fight. There's a quick flick of the wrist as she takes out a small blade, thrusting it into Nightwing's chest. But before it can land, he can already smell the poison. Her eyes are smiling through the mask. He's about to be dead. At least that's what she thinks. Wally and Mr. Terrific built his suit to be stab-proof, so it just takes one hit to knock out the infamous assassin. Moments later, Wally begins to wake up. Did I, run into a wall? Did we win? After tying everyone up, Nightwing heads inside to access her computer and says that he can contact all of the assassins from right here, and no one would know that it wasn't sent from her. Wally tries to convince him to shut it down, but Nightwing tells him, "We're gonna use this." So he gives many of the top assassins marks for them to neutralize, but the targets just happen to be many of his close friends in disguise. Back in Bloodhaven, as all of the assassins are being taken off at the table by Nightwing's friends, Lady Shiva steps into Blockbuster's office. He asks if she's here about the Dick Grayson job, and she tells him no. This is a courtesy. For the first time in generations, La Agent Fuembre has been discovered and apprehended. Over 20 of the top assassins are in custody. One was found dead with his heart removed. Dick Grayson is protected from on high. No one will touch this job. If you want Dick Grayson dead, you're gonna have to do it yourself, Blockbuster. Gotham was no stranger to blackouts back then. But even with things seemingly like they would never get better, Nightwing was never one to run away from someone who needed help. In fact, he ran towards them. During one of the many blackouts of the city, as Robin, Nightwing saw a man being chased by a group of looters. Batgirl was on her way, and Batman was busy dealing with his own fight, but he told the young Dick Grayson that there was nothing that he could do. Stay out of it. Do not engage. But no matter the threat, when Nightwing saw someone in danger, he leapt in. That night, his actions saved a life, even if it was at the cost of his own safety. By the time that Batgirl got there, it was already too late. Nightwing was beaten and nearly left for dead, an early lesson for his Robin days. She too would have fallen if not for the help of one Alfred Pennyworth. When Batman was finally able to return to the manor, he began to make his way to Dick Grayson's room, asking where is he, but Alfred stood guard, telling him, "Calm yourself, sir." Batman yells that he told Dick Grayson not to engage. Alfred says that Master Grayson did what he felt was right, and he saved a life. Batman tells Alfred, "Step aside." Alfred lifts his hand. "No, we could have lost him tonight. I know that that scares you. But for once, you will not turn your fear into misplaced anger. You will direct as much of that fury towards me. But Master Richard is hurt. He needs comfort, not admonishment. Take off the cowl, leave your disapproval at the door, or do not enter, Bruce." After a few moments, Batman enters, maskless and humbled. Nightwing tells him that he's sorry. And Batman sits at the edge of his bed telling him, "You don't have to be sorry. You did what you felt you had to. But you need to remember, you can't protect everyone." The young Nightwing looks up, and he tells him, "Maybe, but I can try." And that moment has followed Nightwing all the way up to our current day as he tries to turn Bloodhaven into an actual haven. He wants a place where they can go beyond just free food and shelter and transportation. But while walking through the grand opening of his haven, Nightwing sees someone that he didn't expect. Bruce Wayne is standing there with Ace the Bat Dog. Nightwing tells him that if he's here in case there's trouble. I appreciate it, but Flash has been running a constant circuit around the entire area faster than anyone can detect. I know. I saw him. Nightwing smiles at Bruce's matter-of-factness. Of course you did. Bruce then says that he's here because It's a big day. He wanted to be here. But they both know that he wouldn't approve of the statue. Nightwing tells him that he knows, and well, he doesn't care. None of this would have been possible without Alfred. The statue's not just for Alfred, but for them as well. They all take a moment to reflect as they look upon the statue of Alfred. But a voice cuts through the crowd as Blockbuster calls out Dick Grayson. Dick was not expecting him to be there, and Blockbuster tells him that this is his city. Nothing happens without him. They argue about it back and forth for a moment, with Blockbuster telling him that he finally got what he wanted, and Nightwing tells him, yeah, despite all of the attempts to stop it. They discuss bureaucratic roadblocks and the mayor's office in general. But Blockbuster really breaks down what he's doing there into a simple question. Was it wise for Dick Grayson to appear in person when everyone is trying to stop him? Bruce Wayne steps up, telling Blockbuster to be careful who he threatens, but Blockbuster just smiles. He reminds Bruce Wayne that he's no longer rich and he's no longer untouchable. But Dick Grayson pulls Bruce back, telling him, "Thank you for your concern, Blockbuster. But don't worry about my safety. I'm not opening Haven. We have a special guest doing the honors for me. And I'm not too concerned about speeding bullets." At that moment, Jonathan Kent Superman flies down to welcome everyone. And while all of the kids ask for selfies, Barbara asks Blockbuster if he's gonna get one too. The ceremonies begin and they seemingly go unhindered. And as night falls, a group of men begin to vandalize the Haven. The statue, the park, everything that Nightwing wanted to build. And he watches. Barbara asks if he needs backup, but he tells her no. He wants them to know that Haven is under Nightwing's protection, so he leaps off the nearby building and begins to take down the would-be thugs, and as he does, he begins to unmask them, telling them, "You don't get to hide! If you're going to do this, the world will know who was destroying their Haven. You don't get to destroy things built to better people." The men quickly panic, pulling back on their masks, and Nightwing asks if Barbara got them. She tells him that the city cameras were down, conveniently, but all of hers in Haven, they were working just fine. She got photos of their faces. And with that, Dick Grayson was able to donate his money and start up the Pennyworth Foundation. He was able to help Bloodhaven the way that he felt he should have. But over in Blockbuster's office, he calls it in asking what exactly happened, and does Nightwing know that they were actually behind all of this? The voice on the phone tells him that he couldn't possibly, but then there's a loud banging coming from outside of his door. Blockbuster demands to know, why does it sound like Nightwing is breaking into his offices? He swings open the door to see our villain Heartless standing there with several dead security guards. Heartless looks at Blockbuster. "I saw you in the park today with Dick Grayson. I have a proposal." And there you have it, the conclusion to the Nightwing storyline, issues 90, 91, and 92. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget to stick around and wait. Every Monday's a full story, and eventually we'll put together all of these Nightwing plots from Tom Taylor. I'm a huge fan of this run, and if you want to get early access to it, you probably should consider going to our Patreon. For only $2, you get early access to almost all the videos we make here. Also, exclusive videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time right here at the Comicstorian channel.